tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I've tried 1,000 tries. I've tried 1,000 tries.
Final sound check. One, two, three.
We're live. As always, letting the people in within a few minutes.
Who is in?
Your boy G. The boy G.
OG. OG.
Yo, I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. I'll never compromise.
Do I have time to pee?
1,000 tries, and now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I'll never compromise, and now I realize there may be other guys. I'll never compromise. I've tried 1,000 tries, and now I realize.
Are they showing a Super Bowl ad on our NBHD on Twitch channel? Seems like an ad is running. Are we making money from this?
There's an ad running.
There's a Chevy pickup truck ad running, I think. Oh, Tacoma. The Tacoma ad that ran yesterday is on our.
Nice. You get paid.
How much
Lucky.
we earn?
Lucky B.
Monday na.
Got 8 people. I think we have lurkers or non-count holders on the chat.
Yes. Wherever you are listening in, if you want to chat, go on Twitch and create an account. It's free.
Sign up.
Just say hi to chat.
Yeah. We love engagement on the chat. Think we can start.
All right. Alrighty. Happy Monday, everybody. And welcome to episode 13 of The Guys Next Door, where the laughs are cheap. And oh wait, where the
Whoa!
talk is cheap and the laughs are priceless. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit
Reverse.
out of I'm a little bit out of sort today.
It's a Monday.
because
It's a Monday.
Monday.
Dude, they
And
should move Super Bowl to Saturday so that
Yeah.
everyone
with
will be in the right mood.
well, with Super Bowl last night and a lot of stuff at work, it's just from yesterday till like probably before the show, everything was a blur. So I'm sorry if I'm out of sort, but hey, we're gonna have fun today on the show, episode 13, guys. So how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Had a busy week as usual. We had a nice trip down to downtown Detroit Friday night. It was 66 degrees. It felt
Uh-huh.
like a warm summer night.
How about
And
that weather, huh?
yes, that was a surprise. I saw people on the course, golf course that is. A lot of
Yes.
Yeah, it
runners,
is.
and
Yeah.
like I said, downtown Detroit was bustling with people walking to the establishments. The only downside is I saw Ford Field and it looks dead. What do you think, Gus?
Too
Well,
bad, right?
there's no NFL, there's no football, right? So I don't know if Red Wings played. So yeah, but yeah.
I I think Red Wings played Friday night, but really the weather was fantastic.
Yeah, the weather's really nice. I play golf on Saturday, so it was a treat, to play this early of the year. But just the weather, right? So I was driving by, right, on my neighborhood. I saw daffodils actually showing up. Can you believe that? So I think it's either I'm scared of what's going on, or it's just weird. Like I don't expect flowers to be blooming in start of February, right? So it's just scary right now to what's happening around the world, things that are happening elsewhere. You saw the news. Is this what we're scared of? The global warming?
Hard to say, but there's a lot of signs. Um, we've only been tracking weather for 125 years, but still, this is out of the ordinary. Storms in California, where our
Yes.
thoughts are with the people over there. There's still people,
Mhm.
including NBHD family, who have no power over
Mhm.
48 hours, I believe. So hopefully, you guys sort that out. And there's also reports of some of bears from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan
Exactly.
have, have been
I've
waking up
been
from
waking up.
hibernation.
I
Yes.
think it's too early for them
Yeah,
to
yeah.
to wake up. So it's just this, scare the shit out of me of what's in store for us, right? So I hope that it's not as bad as I'm thinking, but it's just everywhere right now. Just weird.
Gus hasn't shoveled snow in 3 weeks.
I know. Yep. I was like thinking of should I put on my driveway lights because usually I have a light on my side of my driver. It's kind of like
Mm.
an airfield, like a landing pad. But I don't know. I mean, it's Michigan. We might see snow again anytime soon.
It yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's gonna snow here. I don't know about you guys. So it's forecasted to snow tomorrow. So I might be working at home.
I think Thursday for us. But speaking of airfields and airplanes, we have to talk about the most important topic. Taylor Swift's flight made it on time,
Yes.
14 hours early or 14 hours previous to kickoff
Hmm?
from Japan. She made it. And what are your thoughts on the big game?
Well, first of all, for me, I think it's one of the most anticipated Super Bowl, probably because of Taylor Swift. Have you seen the prices of how much the tickets
Tickets.
are? Yeah,
Yeah.
so somebody's saying they have to get a second mortgage just to buy the Super Bowl tickets. I mean, do you think it's because I think it's because of what's the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey phenomenon. I mean,
I
I think that's part of it.
I think they're riding the wave of the inflation, entertainment inflation. Everything,
Mm.
anything entertainment related is expensive now, except maybe the
Yeah.
Pistons. Uh, I mean, we just bought the Wicked tickets, and the ticket price is okay, but the fees are gonna get you. It's almost 50% of the price of the ticket itself. So I suggest if you want to watch a show, be an early purchaser of those tickets and try to avoid those fees. I know Gus is one of those people who buys his tickets on time.
Huh. Only for weekend, but usually I'm always
Only for
late.
weekend. What
Only
do you
for
mean by
Yeah,
that?
weekend.
yeah. That's the only time that I think I was early to buy a ticket.
We're gonna talk about commercials later on at the Beyond NBHD portion of the program. But did you see Wicked will have a movie, a
Oh
motion
yeah, I
picture
saw that.
version
Yeah, yeah,
coming
Oh,
Thanksgiving?
really?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah. It's. I saw Ariana Grande would be
Ariana
playing.
Grande
So,
is
so
Yeah.
Guts. What's your favorite song aside from Defying Gravity on Wicked? Sorry if you're judging me. I know the songs there. Yes, I love musical. I'm not afraid of, to say about that.
It's a fantastic.
Um, I kind of like popular. You know,
What's that?
like
The
you
song
know,
popular or a popular song?
no popular. It's like I don't
You
know
have
what
to
the
sing it,
title
dude.
is, but
You have to sing it. I don't know what that is.
popular. I don't know, man. I just
Popular
popular.
sounded like gravity. The
It
gravity.
Oh, there
sounded
you
like
go. See,
Defying Gravity also with the lyrics are popular. Come on, dude.
Maki like
I wa-
popular too, but I don't know if that's a title.
If
It's
anyone's on the chat, can you please
popular.
link up the YouTube video of the popular song so that our audience
Hey,
can
boy,
at
G,
least.
what's up?
Interesting enough, I mean, we just want to see Gus. I know you all see Gus dance on the stream. We just want to see him sing again. He sang the last episode though, so just small piece. I'm just trying to get him singing.
What do you guys think about Andy Reid and Travis Kelsey? The incident in the first half where Travis was boiling mad at his coach, and he yelled at his coach and gave him a bump. And I thought, um, before we talk about it, I thought this was Andy Reid's biggest coaching adjustment in the game was not benching Travis Kelsey. If he benched Travis Kelsey because of that incident, they would not win the Super Bowl.
Well, I think Andy and Travis has a very good relationship, and this is not the first time those two bump head, right? So I think it's just like, how Travis is. He's bold. He's not afraid to say what he wants to say. I just feel that he wants to bowl more. Which actually, if you guys watch the game, he did step up on the second half with that adjustment.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of yards in the second half. Only one catch in the first half, but the second half was a totally different. That's what I said. If Andy had benched this kid, they would not have won this thing.
He
you know?
he won't.
That
He
would not
won't bench
happen though.
Travis.
That would
Yeah.
not happen.
Although I'm surprised though they're playing a two tight end set. But I think he who was saying that? I think one of my friend heard me said he's getting embarrassed because Tay Tay was watching. So give me the ball. I think that's what basically.
That's what he yelled at coach. Definitely.
Yes.
There's a lot to unpack from that game, but we're not gonna stick to sports.
Yeah.
Before I forget, over the weekend, before we talk about the NBHD raid train, and before I forget this, we're planning a NBHD mini meetup at Movement Detroit coming May 25th to 27th. It's the best techno festival. You will be away. I'm sorry, but
What is this? What is
What
this?
is this again?
Movement in Detroit. We're gonna have to meet some of
May.
the NBHD people who are around the area, the Canadians, the Michiganders,
What's the
whoever's
date?
close. May 25th.
Oh shoot! Seriously? So I'm not gonna.
Jillo Bird is coming. So she was on the stream yesterday, and we spoke a bit on the chat. And I thought we should all meet up. Gus, please save the date.
Yeah. Putting it on my
Let me
calendar already.
let me put up the poster because Fatboy Slim is on the lineup.
Oh boy, Grace
Gorgon
will love
City.
this.
Gorgon
Idris Elba
City.
is there.
Yes. Gorgon City is who I want to see. Solomon, that's gonna be a hit. Kevin Saunderson, Techno, and the whole roster here. Just
Hey,
full
Grace,
of
look at
stars.
this. Honey
Grace.
Dijon and Idris
Yeah.
Elba.
Idris
Yeah.
Elba is on
Idris.
the.
Those are
on
the
the-
people
I
you
saw the
follow.
interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch out for announcements about how we'll make it, intimate, small. Probably meet up on Fatboy Slim set or whatever. But stay tuned for details.
Well, sounds good, but I'm not gonna be there. That sucks.
Or I think they have some after party in their pad. So
There
we probably
there's
need to
there's a
check.
ton of
Yeah.
after parties.
Yeah.
I'm thinking some of our NBHD DJs will host or play at some of these parties. So we'll
Mhm.
try to get more information for you as the months come along.
Okay. All right. Speaking of festivals, let's talk about our first segment that we talk about NBHD Watch. So here's our first segment. So yesterday we kicked off the first ever 90 minutes of NBHD Rate Train. So why did we go 90 minutes? We've been talking about this on a lot of the other episodes, right? What's the sweet spot for raid trains? They said 1 hour is best because it gives out, the DJs, I would say best uh, uh, um, tracks, best performance in an hour, so you can see their creativity. But at the same
Mhm.
time, also there's people saying 2 hours because 1 hour they're just warming up. So we decided let's change things a bit. Let's go to 90 minutes. And I think it was successful. We have less DJs on Sundays, but everybody I think is playing better just because they're warming up the first half an hour and then just blast through the next 16 minutes. And yesterday it proved it. We started with the West Coast actually, which is surprisingly, we started in the West Coast. It's 6 a.m. at that time with Xvia, and all the way back to the East Coast, and everybody brought the vibe. Xvia, 6 a.m. Kick it off very well. Went to Chicago with DJ Twitchblade. Play some really cool tech house. Thumbs up, David, for those
Excellent set.
houses.
Excellent set.
Excellent tune. And then, surprisingly, from Chicago, we went to Philadelphia with Ethan Dub. Ethan Dub is known for playing DNB, right? He's a certified, junglist, breakbeater,
Mm.
things of that nature. But since he knows that he's playing for NBHD, he played house, more of the new disco, a lot of funky house, which is great, which is kind of refreshing to see Ethan
Mhm.
play that. And again, it was a vibe. People are asking, are we staying away from doing house? And we talked about it yet last episode where
Mhm.
we took out the house to house on N-based rate train. So we're slowly moving into any type of genre. And there's going to be an announcement pretty soon by Boy G and me. But that's where, you will see different people play a lot of different types of genre outside of house music. After Ethan Dub, we went back to the West Coast for Shannon Rock's music. I gotta say though, the new setting of Shannon Rocks, I love it. I love the lighting. I love
Mm.
how she moved from green screen back to like just dark behind the scenes,
Mm.
colored lights. I love it. And that's I think what she did last month when she said she's gonna be rebranding. So that was awesome. After Shannon Rock's music, we went to Marquesa. So Marquesa is in San Diego, part of the Royal Trifecta, as we call them. So if you don't know them, we named them the Royal Trifecta. Three NBHD ladies that ends with music at the end on their streamer's name: Marquesa Music, Grace Music, and Capra Music. So um, we've been really hoping. We almost did a back to back to back again with those three, but um, yesterday we because of schedule we have not really made it back to back to back with those three, but eventually we're gonna get them. She brought in the vibe, then moved to Gillibird. Gillibird is in the West Coast, Boyji. I'm not.
Grand Rapids, Michigan, for all
Oh, oh
you
shoot. Okay,
Michiganders.
well, Grand Rapids, Michigan, right around the corner for you guys, from you guys.
Yes.
So
So she rocked her DNB set, and
yes,
I saw one of her reels. She renamed the NBHD to DNBHD.
that's awesome. So she said so this is Gillibert's first time in NBHD, and kudos to Boyji for getting
Yes.
her
I worked with
early.
her at the Help for Hope stream,
Yes,
and I was thinking about trying to get her on. Boy G is obviously ahead of me in the game, so thank you, Boy G, for getting Gilo Bird, another Michigander, on the family chat on the family raid train.
she actually messaged me on chat during, I think it was Ethan Dub or Twitch Blaze. I was thinking of playing Liquid. What do you think? Now go for it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Liquid. If you
Yeah.
get the vibe, we don't care. So she played Liquid DNB, and that was awesome. All right, and then from Grand Rapids, Michigan, we went back to Philly with Grace Music. She played Tech House. Um, can you guys? It's gonna be biased. It's gonna come from me. So if you guys, what can you say about Grace's music set? I would say it's awesome, but that's gonna be putting my own horn. But going after Grace music, it's Capra. We went across the border to Mexico. She played great house music, and we raided out back to New York City. Well, back to New York to DJ Nix in the mix, who actually closed the train very, very well. I think we hit around 120, 130 viewers during Nix's.
Yo,
And
are you
um,
saying despite the big game on TV that DJ Nix garnered a ton of people in his
yes, yeah. So it's interesting you said that, right? Because it was tough, right? So I know already with Graces when I was modding, playing at 6, we're gonna have a hard time getting viewers, right?
Yeah.
Because of 6 o'clock, I mean 6:30, everybody's gonna be tuning into the Super Bowl. Surprisingly, though, I'll be honest with you, it did started slow, but around 6:45, when even before the game started, we actually picked up. But I think it's because the game also started slow with the score, right? So around 7 to 8 o'clock, 6:30 to 7:30. Actually, we have the most. We have more viewers than when we started. So surprisingly, yeah. Even with Knicks, is right, because probably after the halftime, they said it's gonna be not gonna be a good game, not a high scoring game, not a lot of offense. Everybody just, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna tune in to Twitch, but uh the game actually, if you look at it, it actually got better in the late of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So I think that helped.
That's excellent. That's good. That well, at least we have some data that we can survive important events or streaming during days of important events. So that's great
S-
to
s-
hear.
yeah, so from 14 to 13 DJ to 9, I think this is a good format for NBHD going forward. Is an easier probably scheduling um, to get people in. I think where we're gonna struggle, and I talked to Boyji about this, is the in betweeners. Let's say somebody did not make it, right? Not because they're no
Mm,
show, something happens, and we all know that happens on the raid train. So we have to be a little bit creative on how we're gonna be splitting up the time. But I think that all like what we said last week, I think the DJs are always welcome to extend. So great, great um uh 90-minute start. And there's gonna be a lot more DJs are that are excited. Actually, when they saw the format, even on Instagram, they said 90 minutes is a new format. They're all excited to go. So good job, NBHD crew, for a successful train. And if you look
and
at
the poster too. Congratulations on a wonderful
Yeah.
poster.
yeah,
It looks like
I
it
So
has some
weird.
money inside of that poster.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's interesting enough. Like, I was. It's a toss up between, do I do a Super Bowl team or a happy Chinese New Year
Chinese
team,
New Year. Yeah.
Hmm.
right? So everybody's gonna do Super Bowl. So you know what? Let's go with the ampao. What is it called?
The
Or
Ampao
the
poster.
ampao
Yes.
look, the ampao poster, and then everybody loves it. But thank
Lo-
you, Sound Decision and Grace Music, for giving me that inspiration. I always ask for inspiration when I create these posters. Give me 2 or 3 words, then I'm gonna start making one.
Yeah.
All right, so that is for the NBHD rate train. So I'm gonna remove. So DJ Pat, We don't have a guest from Twitch today, but I think you know we should talk about something else. One of the things that kind of struck with me last week is when you guys shown that Bad Axe movie on that's Netflix, right? So it kind of struck to me about how or what are the different stories of immigrants coming in to the to America, right? Whether you're Asian or another race, I think everybody has some story to tell, and I want to expand that more by asking you guys who actually went through that same story, same route, and have also different stories, and probably we can expand more by having a different guest this week, not on Twitch, but somebody who could help us, tell the story of how we immigrant coming into the United States of America. What is that journey, right? From
Mhm.
our stories when we first started to the stories of our kids. And I think a lot of people can will be able to relate, especially some of our viewers who've probably went to the same thing and kind of want to hear those stories and the different perspective of different people. So I know you guys have a special guest, a very close friend of you guys. So I'll let you guys introduce her, and we can start, asking her.
Gus, you want to do the honors? I didn't want to
Okay.
put you. Yeah, go.
You're putting me on the spot, man.
Yes, that's the point.
So our special guest is our dear, most beloved friend, Chinky.
Wow.
Yep. There you
Wow.
go. Yep. From the name
Wow.
itself, it's really so what's that? Uh
Go ahead,
what
keep
do you call that?
going.
What's that? Appropriate, right? I don't know if it's appropriate or it's not appropriate for this time of age now because as you know, Chinky, it's not it's your eyes, right?
Yes,
But
yes,
then
yes.
You're gonna open with that?
So the
No,
ampao,
you gotta
the
be kidding
ampao.
me.
No, he can't even come up with the right adjectives. Oh my goodness. I was waiting for something like
Chinky is
descriptive.
our very dear friend.
yeah.
She's our longtime friend. When we moved to this city, she welcomed us with open arms. She's like a second mother to our children.
Yeah.
Both Gus and I's children actually. That's their second home over there at their place. We invited her because she's been through this immigrant thing almost entirely by herself without any family
Mhm.
helping her out. So I thought she'd be the perfect guest for today's episode. So without any more wasting of time, Chinky, please introduce yourself and yeah, say anything about yourself.
Hey, Chinky.
Okay. Well, I am. So the funny thing is, Chinky, as you know, is a nickname. It that it's if as you know, in the Philippines, nobody really ends up using their real name, right?
Mhm.
So my real name is Marie Jane, right? And then because I am a quarter Chinese, when I was born, I guess my grandma thought I looked more Chinese than Filipino. And I think my mom said there was a famous Filipino artist at the time with that nickname. So they gave me that name. So anyway, I am uh, uh, the oldest out of five children. Um, and when I was going to go to college, my mom thought it was the best idea for me to go into physical therapy school.
Oh, not a nurse. Oh, so I was waiting for to be a nurse.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I was, but this was in the early, because back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, it was more PTs that was in demand. So
Yep.
that's how I immigrated here. So I came here on a work visa, thinking so I landed in Saginaw, Michigan, thinking my vision of what the United States was, it was going to be like LA, New York, and then
Mm.
I landed in Saginaw, Michigan, and it was all cornfields.
Take note, guys. Saginaw, Michigan is half cornfields and half. Well, I wouldn't put down that city. It's a great city, but
It
at
is,
one
but
at
it was
one
just that it wasn't
yeah
what I was expecting. I
at one
had
point it was the third highest murders in the whole of the United States, but there's Filipinos over there.
I mean tons of Filipinos.
Yes.
I was hired by a hospital whose CEO was a Filipino,
Mm.
and that's how I
Mhm.
was able to. I, it was a much easier immigration process because I was directly hired by by the hospital, and so I didn't go through an agency, and so it was quicker. And that's why out of all the companies that I applied to, they were the first one that processed my papers right away. So
How old were you
I was
when you
21.
Yeah,
Mm.
wow.
I have been here more than half of my life.
Talk
I
about fresh
came
off the boat, right?
fresh
That's
off
yeah,
the freaking boat.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was 21, never been away from home. Don't even, my mom was not sure I will survive if I could even cook for myself.
Yeah.
Never been away from home. I was an only girl. So
Mm.
there was, I was very protected.
Mhm.
And then I moved away from home for the very first time. But the thing of it is, the hospital hired 8 of us to work for the hospital. So that's where my immigration story went. I was on a work visa, but like any other Filipino, you come to this country with the hopes of making it better for your family. So I have 4 other brothers that needed to go back to go to college. So, you work, send money home, and you do that.
Yeah, I think it's the resiliency, right? So, I mean, that we have friends here. We came in the states when on our mid 20s, right? We have
Right.
friends though, same age as you are, who also right out from college,
Mm-hmm.
right? Went here
Right.
as nurses, but they've never been away from home. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a character that shows that if you put them on a spot, right, that they
Mm-hmm.
don't have an option, a choice that, hey, you know what,
Right.
I have to do it or else,
You have to survive. Right.
yeah, I have to survive, right? So I think that's the mentality at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, most of us look younger than we are. So
Mhm.
I worked in a basically it's a predominantly geriatric population. And so when we first, I remember when I first started working, nobody would believe me that I was a therapist because they would always say, "What the heck is this
Yeah,
15-year-old doing working with me?" And then me, I'm very short. So
Mm.
most of them are way taller than me. So, but like I said, like you said, you had to survive. You have to learn how to do it. And I did. I had people who are over 6 feet tall that I had to teach how to walk, do all kinds of things.
And you
But yeah,
still do it
yeah,
right now.
I yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
but it differently now. I've worked with different areas in this field, but yes, I still work. I mostly work with people who are much bigger than I am.
so Chicky, I can relate, well, not me, but you read the story of Grace. So Grace the same, she came in a little bit older, but she's the first one here, right? Never been away from home. She actually, if you landed on a cornfield, she landed in the ghetto, right? In
Right.
somewhere in Philly, right? So
Mhm.
she was culture shock. So same
Mhm.
thing.
Right.
She doesn't have me that then, so she was forced, to do everything that by herself. I remember her crying one
Oh
time.
yeah.
She called me. I was
Mhm.
in the Philippines. She said, this, we all think of New York, LA,
Mhm. Mhm.
America is great in the movies,
Mhm.
but he landed it like it's like the ghetto, right? So
Right.
if you guys have not been on this part of Philadelphia, it's like it's scary. It's like if you're in the Philippines, I think what she told me, she feels like she's under LRT right, in
Mm-hmm.
Bambang or somewhere
Mm.
there. So but yeah, you have to learn to survive, right?
It's hard because I remember back then there was no internet, there was no messenger, there was no free. So it was calling over the phone, right?
Prepaid.
Um, no, not even
No, no.
prepaid. You and then we I so
Aqua, yeah.
I had to call. I think it was AT&T. I had to call. There was only a certain amount of time because it's different. Um, the rate of the call is different depending on the time you call. So of course, the most expensive time to call would be after work, from like I think it was 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. or something like that, and then the rates drop like early in the morning, and then throughout the day it's up again.
Right.
So I remember calling my mom at like right after work, just being so homesick, and then when my phone bill comes, it'd be like $400, and I was like, oh my god, my coworkers are saying, why don't you just write letters? But when you're so homesick, you want to hear their voice and stuff. But
not
Yeah.
hey,
not to
look
out
at
your
me, I
age.
survived.
Yeah,
I
but not
survived.
yeah, not
Yeah.
gonna out your age. But these are like we're talking about landline phones, right? Like
Uh-huh.
like
I
real
You can
landline
talk
phones.
about my age, I don't mind.
When the cost of calls are super exorbitant. There's
Yes.
no internet. There's no
No.
WhatsApp. There's
and,
nothing.
and it was like it was charged per minute. So let's say on the off peak times you would pay, let's say, 15 cents a minute. During peak times you'd pay like $2 a minute or something like that. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was like 30 some years ago.
But all of us will do that. I mean, we would pay that amount of money to be able
Oh,
to speak with
absolutely.
our loved ones.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I will do the same. So Chinky, right? So you survive, right? And
I
obviously
did.
these guys told at the beginning that you were the first one who reached out to them. So you being yourself there, how did you meet other people? What did you do to you know
How
get a bigger
meet
group?
Filipinos.
Yep.
So
Well, not just Filipinos, like any other, because by yourself, how
Your social life. How did
social,
you make
yeah.
it?
well, okay. So back then there was already a big group of Filipinos in the area. Like I said, I told you that CEO that hired me is a Filipino. So
Mm,
that in itself gave me um the network that I needed. So
mhm.
he basically, there was an established Filipino organization here when I came, and so they introduced us, right? And then we kind of just started, but it was an older group of people, an older group of Filipinos back then. But then younger people started coming
Mm.
Right.
as the years went on. And then eventually, Jobel, my husband, he kind of came later. Like,
So
because I came,
he's belong to the old or the young, Jobel.
who?
Jobel. I'm
Well,
kidding.
The
I'm gonna, you guys tell me who looks older. Anyway, so I came in 88, he came in 92. So
Oh wow.
That's
as
a big
part
gap still. Yeah.
as part of what was done to me, when people learned that there's new Filipinos that were coming in, because you got to remember, when we first came here, we didn't have a car. It's not like a big city where you can ride a bus to go do your grocery shopping and do all kinds of things. So most of us didn't have a vehicle first. Most of us, some of us learned how to drive here. We never had to drive back home because
Mm.
we used public transportation.
Or a
So
driver.
so we had so that was part of what we did. When you found out, oh my god, they're new here, what can we do to get them, help them get started? So that was what was done with me. So then that's what I did to the other people.
Sure. So just want to touch up on what you said about meeting older people, and we had the same thing. I actually, in my experience, meeting those older people actually helped me a lot because they're the first one actually who will
Mm-hmm.
say, "What do you need?"
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
and that's how I learned how to help also, right? Because the first thing is say, "What do
Right.
you need?"
Mm-hmm.
If you're okay with hand me downs, I'll give this,
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
And I think I made a lot of great relationship for having these older people, meaning they came here, probably 10 to 20 years, earlier than us, than the new ones. If I'll
Right.
be honest, I got we are more, or we're closer to those people because they're the one who taught us, and at
Mm-hmm.
that point you just pay back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you guys? Obviously, we said that, that and Mackie is also asking this. What's your first experience? I know you, Mackie, and Pat kind of share the same experience landing or coming into the States.
No,
So
I came in.
can
I
you
came in
guys
first.
share the Twitch world? What was that about? What was that like?
No, it was so Mac introduced me to this employer in the US, right? So also work visa. So both of us got in, and then so we were still both in Manila during that time, and I think I was like so excited to come to the US because initially I was like thinking of either Singapore or US, right? But then I was like, okay, if I go to Singapore, it's not the US. So yeah, I can make it to Singapore. It's probably good, but there's still in the back of your mind that why didn't you go to the US? So
So
I
you
just
don't want to
decided.
regret it. That's what you're saying.
What the
What's
heck
that?
is?
You don't want to regret it. If you go to Singapore, you might not go to the US. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's always like I don't know. It's probably that um Filipino mindset, right?
You're
That it's
probably
always
gonna end up here anyway, so might as
yeah,
well go
yeah,
straight to the U.S.
yeah, or go
But
to
did you
Australia, but you're still your mind is still in the US,
you want
right?
to go to the US? So the
Yeah.
US is really your goal. So did you go here by yourself or with the
Mhm.
family?
Yeah,
You're first
no,
off.
we're by myself. Yep. So that was funny. It was like I was so excited that yeah, I'll go in first. Like so, Maki's. I think Maki was still. I think she still have a project during that time. I said no, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I went in. I think
November
November.
was it? Yeah, November.
November. Yeah. So I had my despedida. Yep, there's a party in the Philippines. Yep, I was going to the US. Yoo-hoo. Yep, we had the party. We're fun. Yeah. So I went in. I was like, damn. So I have my, what's that? My, all my clothes. I even brought my necktie, all my neckties, man. So came in, the employer picked me up, and then so what's that? So came into the office. The
Have you
funny thing
ever?
is the apartment is in front of the office. The heck? And
Oh,
it's
how convenient. Oh, look at that. I thought you said the apartment is the office. So that was
no,
more
no,
convenient.
hopefully not. Yeah. So it's a new apartment, and then I was like, then when I came to the office, I was like, so I was like, so my mind it was like because when I look at the website, it was systems developer, right? So I was like, oh, should they have a lot of project and stuff like that? And then
Wow.
went to the office, I have a necktie, blah blah blah, and then I said, and then they said, yep, you have to attend interviews, and then I was like, huh?
It's like
I was
another
like,
job. It's like another
yeah.
job application.
So,
You're saying.
yes, I didn't even know. I was like so naive during that time that I'm still young. So I thought that it's kind of like Accenture, but it's not. It's just a headhunter. And freaking, I have to always like go in, what's that? Attend interviews,
Wow.
fix my resume. I was like,
How many times? Let me ask you this. I know these companies, right? How many times
you
did
know,
you change your resume? Depends
I,
on.
I think my experience. The funny thing is my experience is in mainframe, right? And I was
Yes.
like, and I know SAP, but I didn't know. I know a little bit of R3, but then I'm really SAP mainframe. So it's like, yeah, no one's using mainframe anymore. So yeah, I think I'm experienced at a lot of stuff
So
during that
you're one of those people who catfish.
catfish. What a catfish!
Who actually get interviewed for somebody else. But anyway, guys. So do you remember the first restaurant that you ate when you first came in the States? I'll be
Uh,
curious.
I can't remember. I don't have a car during that time. So I'm the only one walking in Houston, Texas. God damn.
Yeah, this is a route. This is a main route in Houston, and this
Yeah.
is like a main road, 4 lanes. There's a median. It's very hard to cross that street. So, but then
Isn't that
there's
legal?
establishments.
Isn't that illegal? So usually those 4 lanes are high. Those are highways, dude.
Dude, Houston is the worst walkable city
Yeah.
in the world. So
Yeah, so hard. But
it's
then,
a,
hey,
yeah.
I graduated in AMA Computers College. I walk South Superhighway every day to school. US
So
is nothing to me. Come on.
he can
Wait,
cross
wait,
anything.
you crossed South Superhighway
Yeah, yeah. From
without the
Pasig
flyover, like
to
in
Mo.
the middle?
Yeah.
See that
People do that.
you're used to
People
jaywalking
do
there.
that.
Well,
Yeah. I
no, Gus do that. Not Chinky. That people. Only Gus does that.
Gus,
Done
it's
that.
it's a necessity for
yeah,
Gus.
I've crossed
Yeah.
yeah,
EDSA before.
yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
you can do
EDSA.
it
I haven't
nowadays.
tried EDSA. EDSA is scary. South Superhighway is better.
Well, EDSA should be in less traffic because they're not moving fast. I'm scary than the
Exactly.
South
Exactly.
Superhighway.
Well,
Yeah,
EDSA,
Ed said that you can find that spot to cross because there's always traffic there. So if
EDSA,
there's
they
a gap
started
in the
policing EDSA, so you'll be dinged
Yeah.
S-
for
See,
jaywalking over there.
Mike Freak on the chat can relate because I think Mike Freak was also crossing South Superhighway. He said South Superhighway traffic is bad. That's probably the reason why you guys can cross South Superhighway.
This is in the 90s though, so South
There's
Superhighway wasn't. It was fast. So I
Yeah.
think
right.
Gus's
Yeah.
skills, parkour skills, are tested back then.
Do you like do you
Well,
somersault and do and like
I
do the
think
the slide underneath or something like?
you didn't even answer the question. What was the first restaurant you forgot? I can't even remember what my first restaurant
How about
was.
you, Chinky? What's your first restaurant you ate in Manila?
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa for the
Ponderosa.
win.
Is there not still Ponderosa that's open? I think I
I
saw
know.
one
My
right us
first
out.
restaurant here was Ponderosa.
Their bread is nice. Is good though.
It's
I
the
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's where they bring some of us people when we get here.
But yeah,
Gus,
Pat.
you don't remember. What did we have in Houston back then? We had I don't remember. Fast food. I
Whatever
don't
is it fast food?
Which one?
Pat, do you remember yours?
No. In 2005, when we
Did you
immigrated, I think my uncle brought us to Subway,
sub?
and that's the
Well,
first one.
did you and Mackie fly straight to Philly to Houston or Houston first?
No, we went to visit you, right?
Yeah, the
So
first time you go to first
mm,
business, right? So your first restaurant is what is that barbecue where they serve it on like the top of a garbage cover?
I
Grace,
forget.
can
Yeah.
you help me?
Forgot.
Famous Jacks,
Famous
Famous
Okay.
Dave's
oh, I
barbecue.
have that.
That's the
It was
first.
it was
That's
all
the
a blur. It was
yeah.
all a
That's the
blur,
first
honestly.
restaurant we took you guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to our guest. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to
So,
talk about I wanted to talk about the stuff that went on in your career. I know physical therapy. There's like what 60-70% women, but I'm sure there's struggles as a woman physical therapist. Trying to navigate this career of yours. Can you tell us something or stories that you encountered or challenges that you had to overcome as a female?
As a female, well, I it's not even as a female. It's more I'm I think it's for me it's not even being as a female, it's more my size because I'm barely 5 foot tall, and I was working at a inpatient rehab facility. So we had that job entailed a lot of moving people. So we had to help them get up, move in bed, walk. So I had people who were twice my size, twice my height, and they'd look at me and say, "What's a little person like you gonna do to help me move? Um,
Mhm.
how you gonna help me? How are you gonna catch me if I fall?" So I've learned to battle that by saying, "Well, that's why you gotta move yourself. If you don't feel like I can catch you, then you have to help yourself." Or the other struggle, of course, is my name. So, in this country, chinky has a very derogatory connotation.
Yeah.
So I thought about using my real name, but it never really felt right because I know it was my given name, but it never really I was never called by my real name at all. It was always I would always introduce myself as that. So
Mhm.
I every time everybody would, if I say that name and you, in the beginning I would get defensive and get offended, but I said to myself one day, right? I caught this guy caught me in one of my moods. I was on fire that day. So he said to me, "Well, what kind of a name is Chinky?" And I said back to him, "Well, what kind of a name is Bill?" I said, Because it's all in the perspective, right? In my country, that name would sound weird because there's hardly anybody, it's not common. So it's just one of those things. But I've learned through the years if they're uncomfortable with it, it's on them. It's not me. It's
So,
not on me. So I just say, "My name is Chinky. I'll be working with you today." Most of the time, it's it's funny because most of the time, once they get to know me, they'll say, "I guess you're not really a Marie. You're more of a Chinky." So, but like I said, it's more that, not really because of me as a female therapist. I think it's more of that's more of the challenge that I've pretty much, I think, encountered most of my career is people judging what I can do because I'm short,
so,
and then, like I said, the name that I have.
so Chinky, sorry to interrupt you. Do you think that's definitely judgment there, right?
Oh
But do
yeah,
you think also is it also part that you're not American? Because I know
Mhm.
I know the height, right? So but isn't that did it contribute that you did you feel that it contribute the height is just probably the secondary because they know you're a different race at that point? Did you ever felt like that? Because probably that it starts with that, but I
but
feel that
in the
us
beginning,
yeah.
yeah, in the beginning, I remember at this facility that I work with, and it's a lot more like people with dementia and um, issue, cognitive issues, I should say. It's funny because some of them even say, "I'm not going downstairs because I'm not going to therapy because because some of them were in the war, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah,
so
exactly.
they
Yep, yep.
see me
There's
as
that's
somebody
the enemy.
Asian, right?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
the enemy, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what, Randall, I've like through the years, I guess now I really do not.
Think
It's
about it.
on them, right? It's a them issue than it is me. So if they don't accept what I'm offering, right? I'll still do what I'm supposed to do. But then if they refuse, then it's on them. Then I just pass them
Right.
on. I use it. It used to affect me so much, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that
I
anymore.
think that's what I'm leading to, right? Because we all had this when we first came, this sense of, I guess you want to call it insecurity or something, that
Or
we always
right,
think the worst, right? And now we
yes,
all know that I don't give a fuck, right? I
yeah,
whatever,
Mhm.
right?
I
Right.
know,
So,
I know.
yeah, we all went through that. I went through that, and I think it's where, coming from, like, whether Filipino or different culture in Asia. It's like we feel that there's some sort of insecurity, that we
Mm-hmm,
always feel that everybody is talking bad about this. And
mm-hmm,
I the reason why I'm bringing that up is I think that is something that we need to overcome
mm-hmm.
here in the States. Because if you can't overcome that, you're always going to be insecure. You're always going to say you are on the bad side. You're always going to think that, I'm being, what I call this, I'm being, what's the right word, being taken advantage of, right? So
Right.
Mm.
y- I think, to your point now, it's, yeah, we're among them, right? If you take that off, I think it's going to be better. And I
Right.
think that's what I say when I meet new people here that coming in. I think you have to take that chip off your shoulder. You guys agree with that? Because I feel like that's something that we all went through, and we need to really get over it, right?
Well, so I just changed jobs recently, so I
Yep.
work with a lot of therapists who could be my kids, and
Hmm.
that's another form of is that ageism? I don't know, but it's difficult because I had to relearn. I mean, more than half of my career is pen and paper.
Hmm.
I now have to use a laptop for documentation. That is
Right.
like, hello. I constantly need tech support. Like to run any type of system in my house, I have to have my kids work with me. But at work, I'm working with kids who are, could be my kids. And it's challenging, but had I done that, I think earlier in my career, I would have had a lot, I mean, major insecurities, and I don't think I would have survived. But
Mm.
I think what at this age, my I had a manager who told me at when I was doing changing job. He said, "You can only focus on what you do best."
Mm.
That's
So, and
true.
that's what I just focused on. So he said, "You do what you do best is working with your patients. Just focus on that, and then don't focus on how you're going to be judged, and just do what you're
Yeah.
good at." And
I-
that's, and like I said, because I think for the first few years of my career, I was so defensive. I
yeah.
was, because
Yep.
you're defensive, trying to make your prove
Yeah.
to them what you can do.
Mhm.
But then I'm like, but that's exhausting. That's
Yep.
very exhausting. You can only sustain that for so long when you're on defense mode and you're always trying to, oh my gosh, because it takes up so much room in your head,
Yep.
because you're trying to always think, oh, playing scenes in your head. What if I do this? Oh, wait, what if they think this way? Or, that kind of thing. And so at the end of that, it's just so exhausting. So I got rid of all that clutter,
Mm.
and I said, if you're not happy,
Yeah.
then there's other therapists here. All you got to do is move out. And so but I think age did that to me, and different, and
Absolutely.
maybe experience.
Experience, right? Yeah. Well, we talked about this last week also about assimilation. Right, one of the best quality of not just Filipinos, Asians, right, is
Oops, hold on. I
being
can't hear you.
resilient, being
Them?
hardworking, right, and just the ability to survive, right. But I think when we first started, if we don't change that mindset, and we talk
Them?
about the assimilation
Hold on. I
assimilation
lost my
paradox.
audio. I don't know why.
We can hear you. Oh, you can hear us.
Got
So we talked about the assimilation paradox last week. I think that's one thing, that's the trap that we all go to,
it.
that for us
Lost
to
my
just
audio.
survive, or just, you know, just
Huh?
do
What did I
whatever it
do? Did
takes.
I close them out?
We can see
Oh no,
you.
you're
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
we
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 can
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 hear
see
still
you.
see.
you.
Hear you.
Okay.
Speaking
You
of
can-
technical issues, right
Wait,
on
I lost
cue.
my audio.
she has her
Sorry.
own tech guy too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear us now?
I think I can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, yeah. So going back to what I'm saying about the assimilation paradox, right? Being on survival mode and ability to adapt, be resilient, also has a down. If you can go over it, it also has a side effect, a downside of it, wherein we just keep quiet. For us, do what you got to do, keep quiet, forget about the man, and then just survive. But that's also a bad thing, because at that point you're not helping yourself. All those
Mhm.
insecurities, to your point,
mhm.
Yeah.
Chinky being defensive, it just doesn't allow you to move forward. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, um for us, having fast forward, having kids, I think we should, which are different on how we are, that's something that we need to tell them, that well, I think they don't have that problem similar to us because they were born here, but that's something,
Yes.
that's something that we need to overcome, so that, we can, it's not just about surviving anymore, it's really making sure that, you're doing everything the best, right?
Yes.
So
Can you
so
guys hear
yep,
me?
we can hear you,
Okay, good.
You can hear us, right?
right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
So same thing with you, Gus, and Sound Decision. Obviously, you moved. You got again, fast forward, have family. So you too, Chinky. What is now the difference? We learn, they probably heard the stories of, how you got back. We
Right,
on the
right.
dinner table, you tell them. Fast forward with kids. Now, what is that story now that is different than how you were back then, and how they are now being raised, and how they are
Mhm.
adapting here as, like, Americans?
Mhm.
Can you guys tell us stories and how that dynamic is?
See, I've always said, ha- okay, first of all, with me, having kids did not come that easy. So put that in the challenge of everything else. It made me, what's the word? Sat, I've set like a standard guideline of how I was going to raise my kids. I said it was going to be a balance of how I was raised and how and the culture that they're growing up in.
Correct. Yep.
So I wasn't gonna. I think it would be unfair for me. This is just my point of view, to raise them strictly on being Filipinos without the influence of this culture that they're growing up in.
Yep.
So I was raised being an only girl in a very strict Catholic household. Very strict. I so I it was always, this is how it is, no questions asked,
Yes.
you just have to follow, no discussion. So I said I would not I would not like that for my kids. There has to be a more open communication, because I remember my mom, right? You could feel the tension in the house, right? Like
Hmm.
there's issues, there's problems going on. But then it was always presented as, you're a child, don't get involved, you don't need to
I'm the
know.
parent. I'm the
Right.
parent. You're
Yet
the
you
child. You
feel,
have no
but
right.
yet, right, but yet you feel the stress, right? But
Yeah.
but you're not made aware of what it is. You know how the Filipino culture is. If somebody's sick, don't tell them that they're sick, because everybody's gonna worry. And yet they'll find out when that sick person is dying. So there's no time to adjust. There's no time to get used. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It's
I
always
I,
that's
I
what
I
we
agree.
were
Yep,
brought up. So
definitely.
I said I would never allow that with my children. I would have an open conversation. I would make sure we would, be able to have that discussion. So that's how and plus having children later compared to all the other friends that I have because we had a hard time getting pregnant. I also got to observe what I wanted, how I wanted to bring up my kids. And then I had two girls, which is
That's tough.
I wanted girls because like didn't have sisters. But raising girls,
I
is
know.
I
Well,
think I love, but here's something about raising girls. I love them as like babies. Oh, I will take babies up to about 9 years old. Well, eight.
8. Wow. I was thinking about 10. Then you can trade them after that.
Oh gosh, no, because eight is when they start puberty, pre-puberty,
Uh,
and then I would
Ah,
give them away.
yeah. You
So
trade
my
them. Yeah, trade them for puppies or something.
middle
Sorry.
school up until probably sophomore year. Oh, so challenging. Most challenging with girls. But
Well,
now that my girls are Emma's gonna be almost 19 and then Ellie's 20, it's a whole different level
You
of relationship.
you guys are
Much
best friends now,
yes, we're
right?
like
well,
we it's so I but that's what's the thing about girls. They're so hard in the middle, but so good in the beginning and towards the end, like as adults.
so
But
you
so
you
hard
you
in the
you're
middle.
giving you're giving hope to Ivan right now. So he's on a spot right now that he's about to. I'm not sure if your daughter's listening right now.
she's
He's on
probably
that spot, right?
watching.
So, but
Yeah.
you know what? That's what they said though. Like the thing about girls is, especially for dads, at the end they're gonna take care of you. I
Hmm.
mean, the boys will do also. I don't have girls, so I mean, I'll take boys anytime. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I want to have a daughter, but hearing the stories, it's gonna be hard. Uh,
It's
but I have a question though, and this is also for the chat. Do you guys still use chinelas or not hit them? I don't want to say hit them because somebody might call the police on this show. We're not hitting our kids. We're just saying how you discipline this. Are
oh
you
gosh,
guys are still?
I will
I mean,
Put
you
call
it
the
on.
usually.
police on me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, is
Put
it the dad and the mom, right? Is out somebody's doing it? Do you do the batok, you do the chinelas, the
put it on the
cinturón,
I
or
pole,
still
boy
do
whatever?
it.
G. Put it on the
I
pole,
pull
boy
Do,
G.
hair.
do you
Please
guys still do that to your kids? I
put
know
it on
there's
the
Yes.
a lot
pole.
of other chat people to chat right now who might not be you might agree, but I do it. I mean,
Let's put that on
I
the poll. Put it
I
on the
still
poll, boy G.
do.
You still spank your children? Yes or no? Put
I
that on
am.
the poll.
I told my kids, go ahead, call the police. But he here's what it is. Sometimes I can talk as nicely, low voice, and I say, please, can you please do this? Right? 5 times. They will not mind you, right? But then when you start screaming, that's the only time you get their attention.
Yeah.
They don't, I don't know. Like I said, and I think girls tend to talk back more than boys do. I don't know what it is. That's just from my what I observed because my they they talk back more.
Yeah.
If you ask my oldest daughter, I think one time I pulled her hair because she like slammed her laptop on me and then walked away. So I grabbed her ponytail and said, "What do you think you're doing?" I mean, some days you just, ugh.
Yeah, I think it's different also, right? Growing up, we always get hit. I mean, my dad is like a sharpshooter. It
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
that chinelas, he
What
can
should I?
hit it
Damn.
from
Yes,
one
I know.
street to the other, like on my back. But now I don't hit my kid, but I speak softly, but I would say, "Putang ina mo, pag ginawa mo pa yan, tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari sa'yo." Like that. If I say that, people will like in the mall, they would just see, oh, but he's just talking to her kid, but then they will just cry,
Well,
like tears are coming into their eyes. It's like, oh, okay, yeah,
but I think Chinky said it. I think it's okay again for me. As long as after that spanking or after that whatever that word that you said, you explain to them why it is. Because I think that's a problem in our generation, right?
Yeah, I
Chinky, to
know.
your point, like it's either a yes or a no, no, and you don't even know why. Why can
Mm-hmm.
you do it? There's no explanation. But right now, I think if we do that with our kids, and then and they will realize it. And to Chinky's point, when they turn in college, you'll be surprised that they're listening. Ivan, there's hope. Don't worry
Oh,
about
I
it.
know. Right.
Yeah, so
mhm,
it's like they don't listen. They don't listen when they're in the high school. That's really the tough time. I got
yeah,
two boys are in the 20s now. You'll be surprised when they're around even freshmen in college, and especially when they go out of the house. You'll be surprised that they actually listen to you.
I know.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And that's
That's
what I'm
why
saying.
I keep on watching, Vilma Santos movie Anak. Yeah, so every time I watch that, I just cry.
What are you talking about? What is that movie about?
Can
So
you
you
can
know
you
that
s-
movie with
can you
that's what
summarize the
Claudine
movie?
Barreto, right? Claudine
Oh, that
Barreto.
one
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
wait,
Please
Damn,
is
summarize
dude.
that
the
the one
movie.
where she was a nanny for other kids?
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How does that relate?
I don't know.
She,
I just
Us.
want to say it.
she he felt that he's like Vilma Santos is doing everything for their
Yeah,
kids, and the kids are just not, not they're not what do you call this? What's the right word?
listening or I don't know. Like,
Listening, or there's no gratitude, right? So it's not that, I think tell you a story, right? One of my kids, I don't know if it's my second or even my youngest, like sometimes you feel that, but what I learned though, it's not really, right? They are, they're very thankful to what we've given them.
mhm,
Sometimes I don't know, maybe because our parents, like sometimes we throw that word like, oh, this is what I did, this what I did that, I can't help it to say it, but sometimes it feels like you're asking them something back. So that's what they're feeling. So that you really need to explain to them, because sometimes when we're mad, that's what comes out. So
See,
I learned that for two
I
boys
know.
growing up.
But I think what's helpful in my house is because I'm the enforcer, discipliner, disciplined person, and Jabel is the calming. He's the
The
calming parent.
go to dad and cry to
Right.
dad. Right?
Well, so I get to discipline, right, and then he tends to even them out and explain everything and kind of calms them down, which is helpful because and then and then we can talk about it because I feel like sometimes when you have two parents that are constantly both on the same level of anger, it
Right.
but then of course it also depends on the situation and what they did, but that's kind of how things even out in my house.
Nice.
But that was when they were little.
Right.
Now it's flipped. He because now they're older, he's there's a lot more things that for some reason he's worried about with them. So he's the one that's more, he tends to get worried and intense more, and I tend to be the calmer one. So we've kind of flipped,
mm,
Right.
which is I don't know how that happened, but I think it's because now
Mm.
they're older. I can understand. Heck, they're both adult women, right? So I can understand what they're going through now. And he is like always, oh, what if this? So many worry things that he has on his list. So then I try to calm them down, which was the opposite when they were younger.
Yeah, and I think we continue to do that, right? Part of the culture is that discipline.
Mm,
You'll be surprised how it resonates when they grow older. Now,
mm-hmm.
now we talk about culture, right? Do you guys? And I want to talk about our kids grew up here, they were born here. Do we? Do you guys teach the Filipino culture or any or to the other Asian the culture that you grew up with? For example, do you guys teach them Tagalog? Because for me, I think that's one of my regrets, right?
I know,
So
me too.
coming in here, right? So my my eldest was born in the Philippines. He came here uh old enough that he will never forget Tagalog, right? Or the language. Two of my kids can't speak it. The second one can understand, but can't speak it, which is weird. Actually, you can talk to him in Tagalog, he will answer you back in English, no matter what it is. That's so
Hmm.
super weird. But do you guys teach them, or if you don't, do you regret not teaching them the language?
Yeah, I partly regret it because my kids actually tell me why didn't we enforce it? Because especially because they're surrounded with by a lot of their friends who
Yes,
are bilingual. So, but they can understand. It's just that they're trying
it's
to
weird. Yeah.
talk. They feel awkward when they do it, but yeah, it's a yeah, they're kind of making me feel guilty.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat too who got kids, right? Now, did you guys? Did you ever? Did your kids ask you that? Because my kid, I think Ethan, asked me why didn't we speak like that? I
I
always
know.
speak. We teach them. We'll speak Tagalog. They understand it. But you, Gus, and Pat, do you guys regret it? You guys should have taught them the
I, I,
language.
yeah, in a way, I regret it, but it's a culture thing.
Yes,
Filipinos, it's our second language. It's so natural to us. It's taught in school, so we end up just going the easy way, which is just speak
Hmm.
English with our kids.
yeah,
Other cultures are different,
yeah.
or most of the other cultures. The primary language at home would be their native tongue, but it's not. I mean, I don't. I regret that. I kind of blame the culture, but it is what it is. It's not too late.
Yes.
Like everyone here,
It's
they understand words, but
they
they'll
do
reply in
understand.
English.
Yeah.
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 Like especially when I'm mad. Oh my gosh, I get mad better in Tagalog.
Oh, they
Yeah. Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
whatever
Yeah.
easier
mad is,
to
they
say.
know that
Yeah.
she's speaking mad. But it's funny you said that though. When I went back to the Philippines, 2019, you'll be surprised though that they actually do not,
Speak.
teach them the language. I'm from Pampanga. Shout out Samo from Pampanga. Also, there are kids there who cannot speak our language,
Oh, I know, I
Kapampangan.
know, I
Yeah,
know.
I mean
That's great.
some Tagalog, but more English. Like I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm.
what the
Yeah.
heck are you
It
talking about? I
started
mean,
20-25 years ago when families started just going straight to English as their
Yeah,
primary
yeah.
communication at home. It's like to keep up with the Joneses, let's all speak English
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
compete.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
And it ends up being the children have not learned their own language. They would speak it, but they don't use it primarily. So
well,
that
maybe
is
because
sad.
yeah, it is sad. Maybe because we're not there. Because for me, that's backwards, right? And, we're not getting around that colonial mentality that we had years ago, right? So for me, that's going backward. I think you should embrace it, and I hope that they see a lot of Filipinos in outside of the Philippines are actually. I think they're advocating for that, right? Advocating not just the culture, right? Teaching them, to the food, right, itself, right now, right? So That's another thing. I'm not sure if your kids eat well, do eat Filipino, but they're also gross out at some of these food. We need to really expose them to that, right? As early as as the early age, because when they grow up, when they get their own family, I think it's going to be an advantage to them. To Pat's point, not just being bilingual, but also knowing multiple culture. I think that will really get them farther.
Oh, yeah. I don't like every time we go home, I my kids are I called it immersion because
Mhm.
there's no if we have to ride tricycle, they're gonna ride tricycle. If we're gonna ride the bus, they're gonna ride the jeepney.
Mhm.
Absolutely,
We
100%. Yeah.
we're gonna eat street food. We're gonna
Well, depends on the street food, though. You don't want them eating those street food under EDSA, so that they're gonna get sick.
but we did, and they
You
didn't.
did,
We did. We
and then
did
you didn't get sick.
isaw, we did Betamax. What else did they eat? Can't remember.
To everybody who doesn't know what Betamax is, it's not the small VHS tape. The Betamax is pork coagulated blood, barbecued, dip it in vinegar.
Yes.
It's Grace's favorite. I always
Dirty
bring her
ice
one when
cream.
I
I
was
fed
courting
them
her.
dirty ice cream.
It's not
Yeah,
the size of a Betamax too. It's a
it's
little
the
bit
size of a
smaller, right?
Betamax,
Maliit
right?
lang. Di ba, but it's right. It's called Betamax,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is Betamax,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
See?
You also did Adidas and
Wait.
helmet.
Oh, that's
You
my
know,
dad's favorite.
helmet? No,
Oh,
the
I don't know what
Adidas.
helmet is. What's helmet?
The head
Helmet is street food. Is the head of the chicken.
chicken.
I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
that.
see, I no. We only do Adidas.
Yeah. So they said so this is the food. Just to explain the viewers, you have the Adidas, which is they call it Adidas because it's the chicken feet. So you see that in Chinese dim
The
sums,
old
right?
logo of
The
the
dim sum,
Yeah,
Adidas.
yeah.
yeah, that's Adidas. Then there's the helmet. It's the head of the chicken with neck. You barbecue that. That one's my favorite. And then there's the
Chicken butt.
yeah, in Pampanga they call it pandeo. It means the chicken ass.
Yeah,
That's
that one I
also
like. Yeah.
that
So
Chicken
one's
what
butt.
is
also good.
isaw then? Is that the
Isaw
intestine?
is
That
large,
in
well, small intestine, not
Small
Small
large.
intestine,
intestine.
yeah.
chicken, not pork. Chicken
No,
is
no, no, no. There's
yeah
also pork.
chicken.
There's both,
The
right? You have a
the
choice.
fat one are pork. The
Oh,
smaller one
the
are
yeah
chicken.
yeah yeah yeah. Yeah.
You can get all of those in LA. There's a place in LA with barbecue street food stuff, but it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
same
not
though.
the
It's not the
same.
same.
You
It's
need the
not the
dirt.
same.
You need the dirt. You need the
I
smell.
don't
I
know
mean,
if I can do it, Chinky, because yeah, I might get sick.
see, it's so like there's even taho. They have taho in the mall, and even
Yes,
binatog. They have binatog in the like kiosks in the
in the
mall.
mall.
I don't like
Yeah,
that. If I'm gonna eat binatog, it better be the one that's being pushed in the
riding a bike with the bell.
kariton. Yung
I
kariton
think
pa. We have the
all of those
kariton.
are safe because they're warm. I think the worst you can do is liquids, fluids in the street, because
Oh, you
even
mean the
the,
sagogalaman
if
and the
you
buko
order a
juice?
mango shake from a restaurant and it's tap water, you're most
Oh,
likely
you
gonna
gotta
get
get
sick.
sick.
Yeah, so be careful when you go back home. Avoid the liquid, the fluid stuff, and go for the bottled stuff.
So let's ask the chat. What's the Filipinos or any other race? What's your favorite street food? That
Wow.
we haven't said.
Yeah,
We
type it
haven't
in the
said
chat.
that.
Yeah, it
For
could be
me,
anywhere.
the green mango,
That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite.
the green
Oh
mango that's
yeah,
in
with
the
with
bottle.
the bagoong.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's my
There's a
favorite.
yes.
big
The
jar,
bagong.
and there's there's sticks in it, and then it's in a big
Yeah.
jar, and then that freaking bagoong, the shrimp
Yes.
paste is the
Yeah,
best. I don't know how they do it.
nobody can match that bagong.
Although although
Yeah.
Pat, there is one Thai restaurant here in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
As I was surprised, they have the shrimp paste. They had this food that we ordered. It's really pork belly with shrimp paste. It's exactly the same. So I
It
always
reminded
order
you
that,
of,
and I don't
yeah,
finish it. I put a takeout, and I bring it home and put it in a mango. It
yeah. Let's
reminded me
find the
exactly of what that is. Yeah,
if you can
Yeah.
order sides of that for the next time
yeah.
we're there.
I told the waitress, you guys should bottle this because Filipinos will buy
Oh yeah,
this.
we're gonna buy that.
Yeah.
Bagoong's my jam. It I can use it for any kind of food.
Mm-hmm.
So
Honestly,
let's look at the chat. So who said green mango? Mike Free said fried mani. Fried mani should when it has to come from the one that goes on the bus, right? Those those are the one with a lot of salt,
fried
but
money
And
from Mister
garlic, and
69
garlic,
himself.
garlic.
garlic, right? The one
Mhm.
from the buses, right?
The
Mm-hmm.
bus,
Then
the vendors
chicharron in bags soaked in vinegar from
That's right.
Samos. So
with
that
air on
is
the bag.
yes, the chicharron. Well, air on the bag and air on the chicharron also. The more air, the better, right?
That's
Because
right.
really, I'm serious because
Bus
the more
smoke
air
air.
for me, the better. The better the chicharron is.
Wait, so
Correct.
you're talking about the chicharon that you can buy in 25 cents, the small pack like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Speaking of street food, Mister Ngusuko type mo, Mister Pateros himself has some
yeah.
pretty eclectic street food that he has
Uh,
tasted over.
well, it might get one of probably DJ Sonic Boom's favorite abnoy. Abnoy is the what's abnoy?
Right.
Is it the
Gus, you can answer that.
abnoy is the uh, penoy, right? But
Duck.
it's
Yeah, no,
yeah, yeah,
the duck egg that didn't um
it's a
I
one day
think it
old.
was
Abnoy
like
is it
no,
different?
I think
Did
it's
not.
like it's already rotten.
There
It
it is.
didn't
There it
go
is.
into was that like a balut. So it
Did not
missed the balut stage.
fertilize.
Yeah.
Yeah, it missed the balut stage and then I don't know how many days it is already. So yeah.
But it rotted a bit. So the
Yeah,
So it's not
flavor,
it's
a
rotten.
you know what the one day old, right? It's different. One
yeah,
day old is
that,
different, right?
that's different.
Wait, so
Yeah, one day
the
old
egg
is
did not fertilize?
yeah.
Yeah,
It did, but then it's
but it has a
I
bigger
don't
chick, a bigger
yeah.
dead chick. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Ew.
that's
But
what it
it's
is.
rotten already, so that's why we call it rotten egg pie.
In
It's
Pateros, I
Yeah.
good.
think they put
I
the
would not
abnoy on
taste
top
that.
of the bibingka. Have you tasted that,
Oh,
Gus?
that'll be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
That
good.
is
Um,
amazing.
I like toknene. The itlog ng
Yeah, I
pugo, right?
wait, I have to think what that is.
The quack quack. The quack quack is the bigger one.
The bigger one, the orange one.
The orange one,
Not
that's the
quick.
quack quack. The small one is called toknene.
I'm not sure
Wow,
if you tried this one yet, but this one is like we call it paros.
what's up? What's that?
Paros is like it's a shellfish, but it's so small. So they I don't know what. Boom,
Is
do you
that
know
like the
what
Pinoy version of escargot?
I, I don't know.
It says,
Tiny,
Yeah,
oh, paros. No, no, no. I
tiny
know what you're
paros
saying.
shellfish. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a like it's
clam.
like
It's
a
like a clam.
tulya. It's tulya. It's tulya.
Tulya.
Actually,
Yeah,
it's tulya.
tulya.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I start saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, tulya.
I'll try to put that on
Wha-
the screen.
yeah. Uh, Achiglip said scramble. I love scramble, but the brown cow has to be fake. It's not authentic scramble if it's a real brown cow. Achi. Um, yeah, the scramble. Ching, you know what scramble is?
Well, that's a drink, diba?
That's the pink
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Right, right. It's like a
And
salad.
yeah, it's really frosty if you look at it, right? It's frosty, and then they put
Ugh.
sugar. No, 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 powdered sugar and uh a chocolate milk. Like they put it on like a empty can of brown cow, and it's actually that it's not really brown cow. Yeah, that's making me hungry. All right, going back to we went to our kids and then going to street food,
Yeah,
but
The
hey.
foods.
it's just different, right? We want to teach them Tagalog. Um, I think we should be pushing more for that, pushing more, not just the food, just sort of a culture. To your point, Chinky, is have that sort of a immersive experience when you go to the Philippines. I think that's just teach them the roots, right? And it's more at that point it's really education, right? It's just teaching them, where you come from and why. And I think for me that's also a way for them to understand why their parents think like this and why they act, right? And for them to when
Right,
they get
right,
kids
right,
to teach them also a different, probably a different way of running things, right?
right. But on the other hand, I also don't ever say, no, this is how I was, this is how you need to be.
No,
Mm.
Because,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I never would say, well, I used to live on such and such
Yeah,
amount, you should be
mm.
able to survive. I mean, that's
It's
apples
unfair.
and
Yep.
oranges. That's never gonna be fair to compare. But I just all I hope is they realize, right, that their life is an improvement of how our lives were, and that they show appreciation that we were able to make it better for them because of what we went through.
Yep. And I think that's what everybody wants, right? And at least the goal is why I teach my kids is, but the goal is I'm gonna give you something that's better, then you gotta do the same for your kids because you got something better. They will get something better. I think that will just inherently that will teach them work hard, um, get all the positive attitude of the culture, resilient, survival mode, um, do whatever it takes, right? And then take out the bad ones, the insecurities, the assimilation, right? Take that out, and they will be better as they grow older. And then the same thing, they're gonna undergo a different culture set that they need to get over it, and then teach their kids. And that's really our goal as parents, what
And of
parents are, right?
course, making sure, that core, having that core, your family, and having the core people that support you to get you through. Because, I lived in a multi-generational household when I was growing up. My grandparents lived with us. My kids grew up with my parents living with us for a little bit. So I'm hoping that kind of carries through for them, that it's about taking care of each other.
Right. That's really what you don't ask for that, but I think they know
No,
growing
right?
up and they see it. They will understand that. Yep.
Right. That it's not necessarily requiring them to do it, but at least
I think it's yeah.
letting them understand that that's what we do, which
Right.
is not necessarily what's the norm in this culture.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just on a lighter note, right? Filipinos know how to party. Chinky, I
Totally.
heard that you host not every, but most of the Filipino
Most.
party. So
Yeah.
how the heck do you do that? Right? Hosting, I mean, we do it too, don't get me wrong, but every week, and just to guys let you know, their group in Michigan, they're like 60 people deep. I'm not kidding. That's not that's on the lighter side because I know I went with them on the cruise. We are 80 plus, close to 90. So Kinky always host during weekends. Whether it's somebody's birthday, somebody's dog's birthday, to whatever it is. So how do you do that? How I mean, is that just because you and your husband Jobel loves it, or how
Well,
did you cope with that? That's a lot of work.
I know, but I think the plain explanation is I don't do all the work. Everybody helps out. That's why it's
Mm.
easy. In this group that we have, by the people help to set up, and by the time the party is done, it's most of it is cleaned up because everybody helps out. So it's
Nice.
not hard to host a party because everybody helps out.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I can think of. And like I said, it just so happens too that the way my house is set up, for some reason, it fits most of us, if not all of us. I don't know how, but for some reason we can all fit in this house. That's why I
Well,
remember one conversation when one of our friends said, "If I
In
ever sell this house, there's just so many."
good memories.
yeah.
Yeah, it, I don't know what it is. I don't know.
But I'm telling you, even it doesn't matter. I think most of the Filipinos here, regardless of how small, like the number, the ratio between the square footage versus the number of people, they will do it, right? And that party, I mean, outside of just the food, you're never gonna run out of food. That's for sure, right?
Oh,
Everybody agrees with that, right?
right.
Mhm.
Everybody
But
brings
Yep.
food
on these
anyway.
parties, can you tell us, and also the chat, when you're having these Filipino parties, what do you guys do? What is the number one uh event?
Activity that you do.
Activity. What do you guys do?
Yeah, for Chinky, she would come up with games. You know,
You come
there
up
would
with
always
games.
be
I
Wow.
do
games.
come up with
There'd
games
always
that
be
I
Yeah,
do.
games.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
There's a
have fun
game.
with
Yeah.
that.
there's so
I
many memories.
when the kids
You,
used to have birthday parties,
yeah,
I I don't even know what gets into me because I and some of it I just make it up. I
they,
remember when a few parties we would go because Ivan used to do this thing where he would come up with
Oh, silly
Gus.
questions.
no, remember how you would say start the question with, let's say, roses are red, violets are blue, and then what is the capital of Mexico? That kind of thing where he
The
Yeah.
deception questioning.
Yeah.
That's
yes, that
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Dude, why don't you start that on the no dumb questions? That's you should be started with that on the no dumb questions segment. Why
Yeah.
don't you do that?
He
Okay,
forgot
well,
about it. Yeah, do it.
because he
Yeah.
started
It's
it
been a
and then I
while.
took off with it and then he never finished it.
Right.
But we used to come up with games like that for the kids. Because you know how you're trying to mislead the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
you're
mind.
trying to
They
come up with
yeah.
Distract the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to do that, right? Because for the kids, especially the number of kids that you guys have.
That
But I'm just interested, like Ivan's Gus said it, Mikey said it. It has to have a in that corner. It has to be chismis. It got to be gossip, right? It has to be gossip. What's up with Filipino and gossip, right? I mean, is
oh
that just
god.
inherent?
we have,
So,
we
so
have,
yeah,
we
yeah, I
all,
know
yeah.
we're getting spicier. So just tell me what's up with Filipino and gossip.
We have three: chismes, basketball, and politics. Right?
Yeah.
Those are the
Well,
What is
only
up with
there,
three.
there's a
Filipino
gossip.
gossip?
So I mean, is it
Huh?
again
It
culturally that
it
we
goes back.
want to talk
It goes
about we
back to
want to
the.
talk about
It
other
goes
people?
back
I
to
don't know.
the. No, it goes back to the neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like close together, go outside and talk, and that's where it
yeah.
came from. And you would just carried it over. Now it's more modern. You do it over Viber or WhatsApp or whatever. You have groups and
Twitch.
stuff like that, right? And
You
Twitch.
do it on Twitch, on chat.
So
Yeah.
it's also part of culture, and it's coming from how we grew up. Neighbors next to each other over the
Mhm.
backwood talking about stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, I like that. When
And
you know.
plus, it's human nature to always talk about other people's um
Business
suffering than yours.
Oh,
suffering.
we got like
I
other
mean,
people.
that's human nature.
I think it
Okay,
happens
right.
here
Yeah,
too.
it is human nature. It's just like I guess every party should have that. So you have that corner of all the titas, right?
Oh
So what's
yes.
new?
Yeah.
You have to Pat's point. You have the corner about the boys, talking about basketball or whatever, right? Manly stuff, golf, whatnot, and then the kids playing, right? But there's that one corner behind the TV with the magic mic with the karaoke, right? You have to
Mhm.
have that. So my question is, who always gets the mic?
It's a battle. Remember, you
Yeah.
you mentioned there's 60 to 80 people.
You always have that one person who would love to sing,
Yeah, who's always gonna say, "Oh
who's always
no,
gonna
no, I
sing. It
won't
doesn't
sing
matter
tonight.
if they're
No,
good
I
or
won't
not.
sing tonight." And next thing you know, they won't give the mic away.
They
Gus is
dominate
laughing.
them.
Gus, are you one of those? I
Um,
heard
No,
you like to do the karaoke.
Gus bought
no.
a few more mics, so there's more than a few mics to go around.
Who loves to sing karaoke in the chat? Put a one. I love to sing. I'm not gonna
Everybody
be
does.
yeah. I'll be honest. I love to sing. My voice not good, but if my jam comes in, I'm gonna sing. I don't care.
yeah, but
Speaking of,
who says
yeah,
you have
go
to
ahead.
sing good to sing karaoke?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that, Chinky. Actually, the worse you are, the better at
Oh my
I
karaoke
just
god.
singing.
saw, I just saw a Facebook video of a guy singing the 214 song of Bamboo, and he has like 8,000 followers just
So
because
so
he's so bad.
oh, I should do that. So I'm gonna answer Samo. Samo said, "What's your go-to song?" So Samo, just to give you a perspective, I love to sing karaoke. There was one in Vegas when we go. There is one um a bar there that they do live band karaoke. So you
Uh,
have a live band, you put your song during one of the SAP conference. I actually did two songs with that one. I did Ice Ice Baby and it was just like with the rap, right? And Santeria.
Put it on the
Embarrassing, but yeah, but embarrassing, but we're all drunk, so we had fun.
Put it on the Paul Boy G on NBHD on Twitch. Should Mr. Coops sing on the next stream? Should Mr. Coops
yeah,
sing on the next?
because I
Yeah,
remember you sang during the cruise, Backstreet Boys. Yeah,
Oh, we did do that.
we did
We
that. Yeah,
sang.
yeah.
Oh, that was yeah, yeah. So
Classic.
that was you, me, Gus, me, and uh who's with us that? Your
I
brother,
think, yeah,
Go,
yeah,
um, Jonathan, and
yeah.
the boy band boys.
somebody else. Yeah, we sang.
That's what I say. It's more fun to do karaoke when it's the people who are having fun singing. They don't have to be the best singers,
No,
but they're, you know, having
as
fun.
as long as
I
they
don't
don't
like
dominate the
serious
mic.
karaoke.
Right. Well, we talk about karaoke, so but another question I have in mind for all the Filipinos are what's up with the line dancing though? I mean, you
Oh,
mean if you
don't
have a bigger
even get me
party,
Oh,
started.
you do the line
I
dancing,
think you
right?
have
I'd
the right
rather do
person.
line dance than karaoke.
Are you
Don't
one of
even.
those people who are gonna be the first one in that dance floor to do the
Oh,
line
totally.
dancing?
I don't even care. As long as as I know it. But then I have to learn new ones because my repertoire is getting old. I I
You know,
I need to
this
find
girl
time to
could
learn new ones.
this girl could lead any group of people in line dancing.
Mhm.
Because when Gus and I DJ and she's the host, she would start anything, even if it's
Uh,
like little princess parties or a 50th birthday. She would be the leader, and everyone goes on that dance floor. It
she's
makes the
our she's
DJ's job easier.
she's our
So, so
I
MC
love
because
line
we don't
dance.
use mic, so that's our
Yeah, we don't
MC.
use mic. We hire her
the
to.
MC. Well, so DJs, right? So even the chat, you got Boom there, you got Samo. What is your favorite line dance? What's the most requested line dance song that came in when you guys are DJing on a
Oh
party?
my God.
I
Is
know the
that even
answer
a
to that
question?
in Michigan.
In Michigan, there's only one song, or at
There's
least
only
here
one.
in our area, there's only one.
What is it?
Todo todo.
Todo
Yeah,
todo. Yeah, I guess todo todo. Yeah, there you go. Samo said todo todo. So todo todo is probably the old generation knows it, right?
Gus, are you done with the remix of your Todo Todo, the 9-minute version that
Oh
never
my God,
stops?
I think he played that at the one party.
90, 90
9-minute
minutes?
version,
I
and
thought it's a
people won't stop.
90-minute version.
People
Like,
won't
wow.
stop.
They can
And
play that on NBC.
the thing is, the kids have learned the dance
Yeah,
moves
the
They
too,
kids.
really
Yeah,
so
have.
that's a
getting
Our
good
kids
passed
thing.
have
Kids
on.
learned
are
that
also
line dance.
dancing
They're
on it.
pretty
Yeah,
good at
Kind
it
of
by now.
fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
So how is the Todo Doto dance? I'm curious. Can we show it to the can we show it to everybody? How's the Todo Toto dance?
Looks like everyone knows it on the chat.
It's just
Well,
cha
I
cha.
don't know it. How I
Right?
don't know. I need to see it because can somebody show me Gus Chinky how the Toto dances?
It's a hard.
I don't,
It's you need the
I'm an electric slide person.
Oh,
Todo, todo.
please.
the
An
Please,
electric
electric
like
please,
slide first.
please, don't even.
it says looks like everybody who went to a Filipino party here. Everybody knows Todo. Didi said electric slide. Boom said hot. What's hot?
Feeling hot,
Is
hot,
that
hot.
a line?
That one. I don't
Feeling
know
hot,
that.
hot, hot.
Is that a
Feeling.
line dance?
Yeah, it can.
Here
It
in
can be.
Philadelphia, the older people, I think theirs is like Totoy Bibo. Everybody, every time that song plays,
Oh, that's cha cha.
everybody
That's cha
know it.
cha.
Yeah, so I have to learn it just to get so that I can go on that dance
That
floor.
is cha
Yeah,
cha.
exactly.
Before we let you go, Chinky,
Yes.
I have a question for you. What do you think of the halftime show last night? I think I'm done with Usher songs for the rest of the year, but I want to know your
I
thoughts on that
don't know.
halftime show.
I
She's
Hey,
thinking.
it's our
She's
generation. I would say some of it are a lot of our generation. That's why it shows age.
It really does. At least I well, okay, at least I know the songs. That's one thing. Um,
it does resonate to a lot of generations, so that's good. I mean, and
I
they
mean,
did you guys notice Jermaine Dupri came on and
Dude, I thought it was
he's
yeah, I
wearing
thought that was
A Saints Co uniform, a Saints Co uniform.
I thought that was freaking CeeLo. Like, is that
Everybody
CeeLo
thought
wearing
it's
it?
CeeLo. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
it does
did
look
think.
like CeeLo. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't know.
just
Was
found out
I
it's
like super impressed? Not really. Did I like the music? Yes. The
Gus.
overall show, I'm not.
You have
I don't
comments
know.
about the audio, Gus.
Yeah, it's just the audio. The mic was good. The music is a little
The
bit.
background music you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel it was
Good
delayed
talk.
though, like the audio. I don't know. I mean, at first I thought it was when Usher's lips are moving and it's like half a second late. I don't know. That's probably
That
just
could be
me.
true. That could be. There was something off. Alicia Keys, though, absolutely gorgeous. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely. Well, for me, I think I know it's not the best, but with what happened on the first half, I think it actually helped because there's nothing going on in that first half.
Yeah.
So it's smart that it's not just Usher. Then yeah, you have Ludacris there. You got Lil Jon, Alicia Keys coming in. Actually, that helps. So that just gives you, again, for me, it's more of like that nostalgic feeling. Like, oh, these are my jams back then, right?
Oh.
yep.
So yeah. So I mean,
They
not the
just
best, but it's all right.
they just noted that the Yeah song is what 20 years or more already. 20
Ah, it
something
is
years.
probably more than that. Yeah, some of
24.
those are back in the '90s, like like late '90s.
The
Mm-hmm.
R&B songs were 90s.
Mm.
It's surprising that my eldest son knows those. He was probably like 6 years old, 5 years old back then, and he loves those songs. Because those are the songs that
You
he listens
play.
in the car on my mixtape
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
Grace created for me. Those are the songs that
Yeah,
that
yeah, was released in 2004, so 20 years.
Mm.
yeah.
Uh wow. Just where does the time go? Well, it's 10:20. So we're going to let you go, Chinky. Thanks for
Thank you so much, Shinky.
coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
Like always,
appreciate you. Yeah,
the stories that our guests tell leaves
Yeah.
yeah.
a lasting impression and a mark on the show. We have turned into a storytelling, lots of lessons learned show. We didn't know what we were doing when we started, but now I think we try to feature people who tell their stories and help us navigate life. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
and,
Thank
and
you.
and sharing that means
Thank
a
you.
lot, not
Yeah.
just to us here, but also to the viewers, because I feel like if not all of them experience that same thing, and it's just an eye opener. Like every one of us are all similar in nature of the experience, and look at where we are right now. You should be all proud of. And thank you for sharing that and giving a short time. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Oh, you're so
Thank you,
welcome.
Chinky.
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Gus,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
owe me.
I know.
I,
Mm.
Yeah. See,
you
for
are
the longest
always
time, yeah, for the longest time, I always call Chinky. Like I put her name Chinky. I put Chingky.
right. So
Make it
Chinky,
longer.
you actually help reach a milestone in the show.
I
Uh,
did?
This yes, so this is probably the longest Gus have talked. And with the decibels of the tone of his voice, this is the highest so far on all the episodes. So
Wow.
because of you, that's a milestone we reach, and I'm timing it. This is
Look
this
at
is
that. Look
this
at
is
that.
congratulations, Gus. This is a milestone. Thank you so much.
See,
yeah.
I need to be the one to push his buttons. That's what I do.
You
You
always do.
keep pushing it. Keep pushing. That's why we
If
tell.
he
Yeah.
Keep pushing
needs
the button.
if he needs a kick in the ass, that's me.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Well,
Thank you.
well, here's what we're gonna do so that you can keep kicking his ass. We're gonna go to our next segment. We're gonna let you stay. So
Um,
there's a few questions here, that
What
you
the
want you
heck?
to be a part of,
Okay.
and then you
Yeah,
can
let's go
comment it,
straight.
and you can still kick his ass.
Let's
All
go
right,
Oh,
straight to the
totally. I
question.
can kick his ass.
all
This
Okay.
right,
is this is
right,
Go
for
ahead.
context. This is his segment. So this
right.
is
So
Gus's
Gus,
oh,
I
own
will
segment.
introduce. I'm gonna put it. This is your segment. Go start. Since you're talking a
we're,
lot, this is
we're
your segment. There you go. Hey, wrong one. There you go.
that's not
All right, this is a no dumb question. This is Gus segment. This is the part where everybody can ask any questions. The only questions that are dumb are the ones that are not being asked. So Gus, take it away.
okay. I guess maybe since we have Chinky here, maybe Chinky can ask the first question. Yeah, if you want. But
Okay, okay. I came up with why you named Gus.
oh, Gus. Oh, cause it's kind of hard. Cause my Twitch name is a little bit long. Cause it says nguso ko type mo, so it's
Oh, so you
easier
came up
for
with
people to
Gus.
yeah
I
to say
No,
thought
Gus.
it
yeah,
stands for
So,
giving out unsolicited shit.
That could
giving
be true.
well, actually, I can put that as one of his command if somebody asks. But just to give you that one, right? So it all started with I
it
don't know
started
which
with the.
streamers
Didn't
with
it start with the hot girl who was streaming,
yeah,
and
well,
then
who's gonna be
couldn't
guesting the next 2 weeks? It all
she
started
couldn't
with
she couldn't
Lily.
pronounce the long Ngusuko type mo, and
So
then
he
Mm,
Gus had
calls
to
me
come up with
Gus.
Gus.
So we said just
yeah,
call him Gus. Just call him Gus.
that's
Every
good.
Gus
streamer
giving out
that we go to,
unsolicited shit. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what it stands for.
That's
Go
great.
ahead.
Put that in the command
right. So
section
that's a
there.
good.
But yeah, I mean the recall of people, because people you have when Gus comes in a stream and they haven't seen Gus in a long time, they still remember Gus.
Yeah,
Like the
everybody
recall
remember.
is so
All the
strong.
girls actually remember them, right?
Most of the
Oh
Because
girls.
my
yeah,
god.
because the first, I think I think it's the experience. Like coming in, I don't know how to pronounce that name because everybody in Twitch say, I don't want to, because everybody's polite. When they cannot pronounce your name, they're gonna say sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're
Uh,
they're still gonna try, right? So uh,
Okay,
I
okay,
would
get
probably
it.
you have miss or hit 10% actually said it correctly. I can't remember who was the first one, but at that point, everybody say call him Gus, and
uh,
now
It's
on
stuck.
Twitch they know him as Gus.
Okay, got it.
All right, we
Go
have a
ahead,
few
Gus.
questions. Gus, who's the
okay. Next question is: would you rather copy or paste? Mm, anyone can take it.
Ooh.
This is good. Yeah.
copy or
Ooh.
paste? Actually, we're gonna go to your next question. We'd rather copy or paste.
You can't you can't paste without copying.
That's true.
Let me think about that.
Chinky, go for it.
Wait, hold on. I'm thinking. Would you rather copy or paste?
That's a no dumb question for sure.
Oh, I will. I would rather paste.
Okay, why?
I will. Yeah, I agree.
I
Go ahead,
don't. I.
Chinky.
That's why I don't like being in the mainstream.
I'm
Because you
also
can
paste.
paste anything, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I'll paste because paste for me is the idea is original coming from me. I'm not
Right.
copying, so I'd rather be the first one to do it, whether it's good or
Me too.
bad. So that's on the paste side.
Mm.
Or
Agree with that.
I will grab ideas.
You're
I
right,
will
exactly.
I will tweak it, but I will not copy.
Yeah,
Next
Mike.
question.
Yeah, Mike
Okay.
Pritz said it's dikit. Mahilig ako dumikit. Yeah, we know that, Mike.
Glue.
Yeah, yeah.
Rice glue.
Yeah, well, yeah, we rice. You use rice. Everybody that use rice, yeah. To Pat's point, do you guys use rice to paste?
Actually, when you run out of glue, you make your
You can
own
use
glue
rice, right? So that's
by
Yeah, but then when it hardens, it doesn't stick anymore.
no, it's not effective.
Cornstarch is better.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Make
Okay.
paste.
You want to
Okay,
read this next question,
yeah.
Gus?
Next question is what's the origin of acronyms in the chat room? Like LFG, let's fucking go, or
Looking for
Looking
looking for
group.
group.
Group what? Looking for group.
looking for group scares me, Achi.
Yeah,
What are
that's
you looking?
scary. That is
Yeah,
scary.
looking for group is
There are actually groups on Facebook that have that. So we'll stick with the
Yeah.
first, right?
yeah, but the origin though. Let's answer her question. I don't know what the origin is. I think if you look at Twitch as a whole, there's a lot of acronyms that. Well, it's not just from Twitch. I think LFG is
It's
a
been
chatters,
yeah.
acronym, and
Could be let's freaking go, right?
yeah, this could be let's freaking go. Let's well, yeah, right. So it's like NBHD. You can name it anywhere.
Or look for Gus or something like
There you go.
Again,
Look for God. I love
There
that.
you go. Look for
Don't just not
Gago.
looking for guapo. It's more of looking for gago also. So
Uh, yeah. Yeah, looking
Achi,
for tall, dark, and happy. There you
I'm
go.
sorry if we are not able to answer your question, Achi.
I'm sorry.
that.
Tall, dark, and happy. Tall,
Yeah.
dark, and darker. It's next question. Anybody in the chat? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We need more
You
from
have
the
to give
chat.
us a really good no dumb question.
We have a
Unless
couple minutes
Gus,
still.
yeah, I guess Gus, you have something on the can there.
No, let's wait for the chat. Let's see. Do they have
Looking
one?
for a guy. Oh, Achi. What kind
Miss
of
Chinky,
guy?
you have a question for Gus? Another
I'm
question?
thinking. I'm thinking.
Let's see.
I have
Who
one for Gus though. While Chinky is
who is
waiting.
your while you're thinking about your question, who is your bucket list guest? This is
Me.
for all the
Oh,
hosts. Yes, for all the
yeah.
hosts.
Mhm.
I want bucket list.
It's
Right
hard.
now,
Isn't it?
yeah, there's a lot, right? So, but I want to. Uh, for me, I've been chatting with him a lot, and Mike Freak knows him. I want to get, and I think it's gonna be fun. I want to get Bobby Promo,
Hmm.
Bobby Shaw.
I think you won't be
I
far
think
from
yeah, I
that.
think with just the knowledge that he has and just he's a fun guy. You know, once you get a chance to chat with him or text with him, I think it's gonna be fun on conversation.
Gus, your bucket list guest. Maybe we can make it happen.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing's popping up.
Achi Glip.
Yeah, Achi would be one.
Achi
Or
Glip,
Boom would be a good.
Boom.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom, and Achi Glip.
Yeah.
You are
There you
our
go.
bucket
Yeah.
list guests.
Next
So
week. Next
please,
week. Next week.
please,
File that leave. We need to get you guys
please
on.
help us by guesting. I actually have someone in mind. I don't know if we can book him next week, but please, you get first dibs, Sonic Boom and Achi, if you want to guest.
Yeah.
Questions, guys?
I do have one for Gus. If I'm gonna can go out, do you have your question, Chinky, or no?
Wait,
I
hold on,
can.
keep going. I
So, Gus, I want to keep the conversation 2 weeks ago. How is their daughter's boyfriend doing?
We have, yeah,
I-
it's a follow up to a few
It's
weeks ago. Yeah.
did he come? What was the last time he was there? Did you have a next encounter? Tell us the
No,
story.
actually, I haven't. I haven't seen the boyfriend yet. I think I seen him in Twitch. Not in Twitch, but in Instagram.
In
But
Twitch.
yep. But no. I don't know. No updates. No updates yet.
No updates.
No
Okay,
Yeah.
updates.
that doesn't
We will
scare you.
be.
I'm gonna teach you something, right? You rather have them stay in your house so you can watch over them than go somewhere else. That's the first thing that you should do, so that at least you can get you know some info.
Uh,
Some info.
Tell your
yeah.
daughter, hey, can you bring him on Sunday? We can hang out. Have a good lunch.
Yeah, but they
Watch.
have to, I think they visit her, so I guess they can
Yeah.
all.
Or you can go here, you can lunch out with us, and maybe you can hang out with us, watch Wicked the second time round or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he will sing Popular with you. You don't know, dude. That might be the thing that she's gonna win your heart.
If you're
Yeah.
listening, Gus's
Yeah,
daughter.
he can sing Popular. I'm gonna sing Fabulous by Sharpay. There you go.
No, there you go. You guys could be the duet on the Defying Gravity. You can be
There you
what's
go.
what's the name? Elphaba?
Uh,
Alpha.
El
El,
Pabo. I don't know.
I thought El Baba and the other
Paba, Paba, and
Elfa.
Golin.
Linda.
Yeah, Galinda. Yeah, Galinda. Yes, there you
Galinda.
go. What?
Galinda, not Golinda. Yeah, there you go, Galinda.
Didn't she change it to Glinda?
Glenda.
Glenda.
Glenda. Yeah,
Yeah,
She did
Galinda.
change it to Glinda, right?
Galinda. Yeah.
It's Galinda,
Uh,
isn't it?
Jinky, you have you can just roast him. You can throw him
Oh,
anything
Do
right
oh,
do
now.
the
oh.
honors.
You have a direct line to throw anything at him.
It's funny having this conversation because I said when I heard he was doing this, I'm like, the question I asked him, are you talking in Tagalog or straight English?
That's a question. Answer that, Gus.
of course, I'm talking in English. This is
And
my
that's when I
overtime.
busted out laughing.
She couldn't believe
And
it.
that's when I said I want to be in on this because I want to have this conversation with you.
Yeah,
Because
Now
I'm
you
not
saw.
sure if
Yes, good. You
the fit.
I
actually
can't.
had gotten to talk.
And
I
you
cannot even. I cannot.
and like Mr. Coop said, this is a record. This is
Is this a
like
record?
20 words per minute type of rate of speaking from Gus.
Mm-hmm. I have to show.
You have to show.
You have
Yeah.
to what? You have to
You
show.
I have to show that
There
I'm
you go.
talking.
show up.
Sorry, I have to
Uh,
talk.
I-
That's what I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
I don't need
So,
to show anything. I mean,
so I think this is
Please
gonna be
don't
the
show
norm right now.
anything.
Right?
Say again.
But
I said,
did
please don't show anything.
oh no, that's too late, Chinky. He showed a lot already on Twitch,
He
so
already
that's
did on
that's too
his
late.
Oh
Yeah.
my
stream.
God,
He
yes.
showed too much already, so that's already a given. So
That's why his
oh
wife can't even watch him.
uh
yeah.
these are all recorded, so we're gonna send this
We're gonna
to
send everything to her.
yep
Especially this episode. She's gotta see
this
that.
episode. Right. All right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we
Wait,
we
there's
really need to hand yeah we really need to end it. Went overtime. It's been 2 hours. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chinky. Thank you guys for watching. The guys next door. We're gonna have we're gonna go back to our regular guesting of Twitch streamers or mods probably next week. So please tune in every Monday. Thank you so much for watching the show again. These are the guys next door. When talk cheap is cheap and laughs are priceless. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Sound decisions, Gus. You guys rock.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Chinky.
Before
Thank you,
we
everybody.
go, I have
Thank
footage
you.
of the Vision Pro. It was released in the Philippines, so enjoy the clip.
Look at
Oh, that's a nice video, bro. It's like a minion.
I'll never compromise.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I gotta roll the credits.
Thousand tries, and maybe other
Yeah, people
guys.
think.
I'll never compromise.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Now I realize I've tried 1,000 tries, and maybe other guys. I've tried 1,000 tries. I've tried 1,000 tries.